government communications minister.
Honorable Kwache Ofosu, what say open evidence? Pransuo no ene daho no. Nsuo no ana akagina fakwa enko no. Pransuo ena yese milo a milk nim no. Pransuo ena chamfan esiso ene 22nd September 2025 11:30 am. Nkrofo guso a omoye adwuma no. Evidence na wope no enu nie. Honorable Kwache Ofosu, what say wope evidence? Offense no enene yaba ho ewo Upper Dencha East heyi. Offense ena akagina fa ko ensuo nani aye potopoto no. Honorable Kwache Ofosu, enkola ena gina offense ho a omu tu galamsey ese ensuo no. Infuo ena ese no. Empenifo tu galamsey. Enkola tu galamsey. Banchifuo ena galamsey ensuo eguso sa no. Honorable
video. It was very well attended. I was impressed. I thought that people were fatigued of campaigning and elections and all of that, and they were not going to attend. Is it photographs or is it a video I'm looking at? Oh, just photographs. Yeah, so that's the video now. Yes, so here they are. Walking on the video. I saw Fancy Comedy. I was so happy to see him. He was in the demonstration as well. Now, these people are demonstrating. I think Samia Uku was there too. He was, yes. These people are demonstrating because they say that there's too much arrest, there's too much intimidation with the justice system. They go and catch Aboagye and keep him in forever. The other day, somebody said Akufo-Addo has a militia. They didn't catch him. They just took him to National Media Commission to justify it. The people around the president could have sued Aboagye at National Media Commission, but because they don't like criticism, they cannot tolerate criticism, they put him inside prison for weeks. And there was this judge who thoroughly embarrassed the whole judicial system, and everybody was writing about his judgment. In his rulings, he was quoting Idi Amin Dada, one of the most laughable presidents of the African generation. Idi Amin was his reference point to put Aboagye in jail. This is what the judge said. Everybody, NDC people, everybody was embarrassed about how this judge conducted himself. People suspected that there was political pressure on him. Other people said there was no political pressure on him. He was just by himself. So today, the NPP, led by their leaders, the Aboagye, that's Fancy Comedy. Fancy Comedy. I like the way he holds his ear when he's talking. Look, and I like his punk. You know, he likes Chicago Bulls. He's wearing their shirt. And so, I was happy to see young women in there as well. And everybody was marching. And they were marching that they want to send a petition to the president that enough is enough. There was a very significant turnout. I was quite impressed. Somebody said, some MPP person, NDC person who was teasing the people, said that it was Shatawale who released his SM funds to join the Aluta when they found out at 8 o'clock that nobody was coming. I don't really know what that means. That's Miracles in the video over there. He's in our studio today. He's going to talk to us soon about Galamsey. And so this was a demonstration. It wasn't bad. It was very well attended. I hope that the government will pick the lesson. I hope that the government will respond. I hope that the petition will hit the president's desk. It was received by Alexander Segbefia, who is the chief of staff at the office of the vice president, because the president's chief of staff, the Honorable Julius Debra, is in New York with the president for the United Nations General Assembly. There is Miracles Aboagye granting an interview to the demonstrators. I don't know whether we can hear it, whether we can hear some of the sound from the demonstration. Yes. Okay. A placard somebody was holding. Sami Jemfi, stop enriching yourself while rivers die. It says Very interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting. Okay, let's go to the text messages. When we come back, we're going to the Miracles Aboagye expose on Galamsey Part 2 tonight. So let's begin with Mr. Kofi and Mr. What are people saying?
Thank you very much, Paul. Eli Obama Tamale says, for the first time in Ghana's Fourth Republic, a massive demonstration has occurred against a government that has been in power for only 9 months. The large numbers on the streets today demonstrate a rapid decline of hope among citizens. Many of those who voted for change are quickly losing trust and confidence in the government. And I confidently predict that the next demonstration in the capital town will be massive. Let's keep pushing for good. Now from Arthur Steven. Paul, I think Ghana is for Okudjeto's father. If not, he wouldn't have done this to this man and Ghana as a whole. Diamond A. Ruth also says, Ablakwa is not emotionally intelligent. He is not mature enough to handle the country's diplomatic office. The Foreign Affairs Ministry is too big for him. And from Prince Henry, Ablakwa is unable to bear the barrage of criticisms being made about him. He can't take a dose of the medicine he served the MPP in government while he was in opposition. You see how unprincipled he is. Now, Angelo, what do you also have for us?
Right, we have Saeed Countryman saying the hatchet job is done and the executioners are being handed their medallions for an ugly thing well done. Well, history will never be kind to Bafuboni for being the guy who carried the axe when he had to protect the sanctity of the judiciary. He continues, However, he loathed the good CJ Tokonu for being unwavering in her service. It will always be the fact that Mame Araba Isaba became CJ before he forced his way to become 2. This is Saeed's opinion. We also have from Osei Tutu saying, I like your calculations with regards to who becomes the next Chief Justice. Let's stop doing politics with everything. Samuel Fotuba says, Ghana's next president must be someone who has integrity and honesty, not to those who are bastions of bitterness, rancor, and always betraying the secrecy of their fellows. Ghana is at a crossroads. Who needs competence and foresightedness to revamp it? She doesn't need loquacious braggarts to be in the culprits and crash the plane. Very, very big words coming from a viewer. Gastiman also says, the government must know that when you silence voices through selective arrests, you do not show control, but you expose fear. Free speech is not a threat. It is the foundation of a free nation. They must remember that karma does not forget. The injustice you sow today may return louder than the voices you try to silence. Ahaji says, Paul, your analysis is based on all things being equal. Who said it's only retirement that can make a judge retire or be removed? The former CJ didn't retire. If she was to run to her retirement, how many would have retired before her time? He also says, incapacity can also make a judge retire, or death. Lastly, we have from Musa Gosu. He says, most of these unnecessary songs being sung at demonstrations are needless, but I can tell on authority that the Mahama song is just setting by Oliver and his cohorts. They just want us to discuss it as you are doing now. They want us to believe the president is tolerant like President Nana Addo, but it won't wash as the president has already shown his intolerance by threatening that he knows our IP addresses. Paul, back to you.
All right. A text message here. People are texting me that Avril Johnson, it's a senior to Amadou Tanko, so I've asked my people to check and confirm that process. All right. I got a text message here that's very instructive. It's quite long, but I'll try and read it. It says that there is a book entitled Reaping the Whirlwind by Michael Griffin. It details the rise of the Taliban in Afghanistan. I make reference to this in relation to 2 matters on your show today. First is the despicable song that came from the lips of a misguided demonstrator against the sitting president. It was wrong when used against Akufo-Addo, wrong again when used against John Mahama, and will be wrong if it's used again against anybody elected by the good people of Ghana to be president. However, we are reaping the whirlwind sown by my learned friend Sami Jemfi and his friends, not so. See why we should exercise great caution in our quest for political power. Secondly, your analysis on the possible successor of my Lord Bafuboni amazingly overlooked yet another potential whirlwind. What makes you think that the president sworn in January 7, 2029 will not receive a petition from Aboagye or Joseph Yamin to trigger an Article 146 action to tokenulize the judiciary as we have witnessed? What if the 2029 president simply decides to bring somebody straight from the bar as CJ. Well, winds are swelling in this country in a menacing way. Maybe Prophet Anos's birthday will open our eyes to come to some understanding of how not to bastardize our democracy on the altar of extreme partisanship. Very well written. Thank you very much. A few more text messages coming in, all indicating Avril Johnson. We're going to get the clarification on that, and we will put it out to you. Now, though, Miracles Aboagye has taken his seat. And good evening, Miracles.
Good evening, Paul.
How was the demonstration? You must be tired.
It went well. I think the people came out to make their voices heard.
They said you got Shatawale's SM fans to join you when at 8 o'clock.
Yes, lots of them. I mean, why not?
But they said 8 o'clock nobody was coming, so you had to call on Shatawale's SM fans.
I mean, if Shatawale's fans joined us, they have every reason to, because their man was a victim to the exact thing we are demonstrating against. So we are glad, we are happy they all joined. But there are several people, I mean, you could see thousands of people who believe that whatever it is, we need to have a democracy where people will not feel harassed, people will not be afraid to speak up, and nobody would use the laws to intimidate you. It's obvious that is what is happening. And it's as if when you say it, they say the law is the law. We agree, the law is a law, but we can see it when you are using the law to abuse me. It's so obvious. So yes, it may be the law, but if you break into my room in the middle of the night and you take me into custody and then you keep me for 24 hours and then you give me a bail bond of 20 million, which will require me either 3 months to find them, to fulfill the bail bond. Before you let me go, it's the law, but you using the law to really, disturb or trouble me. If you arraign me before an animal farm judge, clearly it is the law, but that is you using the law
who relies on Idi Amin Dada.
Idi Amin Dada and Mugabe memes. It is the law, but really, it's you abusing the law. I think the NDC members should be worried. Honestly speaking, I always say that the people who should really be worried about what's going on is an NDC member that is also as voiceless as all of us are. Because barely 9 months ago, if I recollect some of the commentary by even media persons in this country, and I compare to some of the reasons why TikTokers and people who are doing Twitter spaces are being arrested for. I
remember the kinds of things Adrian Pahini used to say.
I mean, Captain Smart and co, the sort of things they've said.
About Akufo-Addo
directly, some even impugning murder.
The CDS had to write. The Chief of Defense Staff had to write to TV3 complaining.
Media Commission wrote severally, So it seems as if the government is not busy enough, honestly speaking, with the real issues, with the core mandate. Because otherwise, if they were, I doubt if they will have enough time to be doing some of these things.
You were heavily criticized after your first Galamsey expose. Kwame Danso even said that you should be prosecuted for something called OSCO or CESCO or something like that.
Kwame, yeah, I read it and I was laughing. I was wondering.
What is that?
I don't know.
The OSCO thing, you don't know?
I don't know, no. You should be telling me.
Oh, are you serious?
I have no idea.
But why did he say he should be prosecuted?
I don't know, maybe
as a response to your Galamsey expose.
Yes, his wife is a beneficiary of the government. So I'm sure now, instead of focusing on his movement for change, he's more concerned about the NDC. But he forgets that the Galamsey conversation really, we haven't even gone into the politics of it. If we should go into the politics of it, it will be even much more murkier. I have decided to really stay away from the politics of it and deal with the issues because I've seen the thing with my eyes real time. And you see, Paul, I am able to speak on Galamsey because I am one of the few consistent people when it comes to the issues of Galamsey.
They also said, you will not support the ban on small scale.
Yes, because I don't think anybody should ban small scale mining. I don't think the NDC should ban small scale.
But that's not the same as Galamsey.
Yes.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay.
Why should you ban small scale?
Why are they bringing that up?
Because they were looking for me, probably contradicting myself on the issue of Galamsey. They found nothing.
So they were not interested to verify the facts of what you were addressing?
No. They were looking
that suggests that they knew it was factual.
Of course. So they were more interested in, did he support Galamsey, made any comment when they were empowered to support Galamsey? then we'll say that he's being double standard. But I'm not. When it comes to the issue of Galamsey, they can set for 10 years. I have been consistent.
You haven't deleted your Facebook post?
Me. But the videos are there. But you know me, I say my intents even on mass media first before I go on Facebook. If you see me post anything on Facebook, it's something I picked from either a radio interview or TV interview. My position on Galamsey has been consistent. And I've always said that Akufo-Addo did not complete the fight against Galamsey because of the way the NDC politicized it. And when I was in government, I always insisted. And I called out anybody. You know, when I saw that attempt, I actually pulled an 8th October 2022 video, 22 minutes, of me dealing with Galamsey on CCTV, and I put it out. They should go and watch it. And trust me, anything you hear me say on a subject matter here on Good Evening Ghana, when you hear me speak on Peace FM, you may think I'm reciting and reading. I'll say the same thing. Because I stick to what the principles are. I think that when we speak against a strategy that didn't work in the past, we don't repeat it. And so when I was telling the NDC in September 2024 that their call for Akufo-Addo to ban small-scale mining was misplaced, I knew that it was misplaced not because I had any interest, but it was because Akufo-Addo had earlier on banned small-scale mining for 2 years, in nearly 2 years. And then what happened? Within the period where the ban was on, everything was okay. Then immediately it was lifted, went back to ground zero. So I knew straight away that it's not a sustainable strategy. So why do you come back and say that a strategy we had deployed before should be redeployed in the fight against Galamsey? So that is a principle on which I disagree with any government that thinks that banning small-scale mining is a panacea to Galamsey. Because you see, it beats my thinking.
So right now, your view is state of emergency should be.
No, I don't agree to that neither.
So what's the point?
You see, let me tell you something. The NDC, they are under pressure because of their own words. When I was saying that the ban on small-scale mining was not a good idea, they disagreed with me.
But they said that.
They insisted, as of September 2024, barely 10 months ago, that there should be a ban. So when I was saying no, they said there should be.
Now they have power.
Then you know what they did? Then they went to put it in their 120-day social contract.
The one they launched there.
Yes, don't mind MPP. We are asking them to ban small scale, but they don't want to do it. If we come, we'll do it.
It's in the 120 days?
Yes.
As a commitment?
Yes, number 19.
That they will ban small scale mining?
Yes. And that is why people are calling them to do it.
So they haven't fulfilled some of the 120 days?
No, they haven't. That is why when the president says that 8 months is too short a time, I am saying that I am not asking you to fix Galamsey in 8 months. I am asking you to show working. So far, you've done zero.
Like going according to the 120
Like fulfilling your own number 19 promise that you ban illegal mining and all forms of new mining in forest reserves. You haven't done it.
The repeal of the LI?
He hasn't done it. The ban on even the mining on forest reserves and illegal mining, you haven't done it. It's number 19. So I am not the one asking you to do, because I disagree with the ban.
So they said they will do it?
Yes, you said
so you are holding
it.
them to their word?
Yeah, that's all. So when you
and
go
reminding them that it's actually getting worse, so you might need to do it.
Yeah, so when you go and bring me my point that I made in September 2020, which I still stand by, you've lost the plot. But they couldn't find anything because I have been consistent. None of them have been consistent on Galamsey than I have been. Because the things they said and told the Akufo-Addo in 2023, 2024, they are not sticking to it. The things I said, I'm sticking to it. I don't think there should be a ban on small-scale mining because it is not a sustainable strategy. I don't think state of emergency will change anything because, in my view, even the security people we send into the forest reserves,
they get compromised.
They get compromised. My view is that if you declare a state of emergency, you are likely to have some of them even removing their uniforms and doing their mining because then they are alone. So I am not even going to advise the NDC government.
So what's the solution then?
They should implement their promise. They have a 6-point promise. We want to first of all see them, Paul, implement that 6-point promise first. You do it and let it fail.
So you mean the NDC have done nothing about Galamsey?
Tell me one new thing.
Since January?
One new thing. You see, this is what is happening. Akufo-Addo was fighting Galamsey with specific strategies. The NDC said those strategies are bogus and that they won't work. Vote for us. When we come, this is our 6-point promise to you. Since they came, none of the 6-point promise have been pursued. What they have done rather is that when the Ghanaian people ask them, what are you doing towards the fight against Galamsey? They are showing the exact things that were in existence before they came. For example, send the security into the forest areas and the river bodies, arrest Galamseyers, burn chamfans, burn excavators, come and show pictures. That is something that was being done even as at 5th January.
The burning of excavators was a big deal. Akufo-Addo did a lot of burning of it.
As at 5th January 2025, military and police were burning chamfans and burning excavators. So that is not your strategy. Then they say we have sent blue water guards. In our engagement here the last time, you saw it.
Yeah,
the only difference is that these ones were wearing yellow, and then the NDC guards are wearing blue. So they have not actually triggered a single new strategy towards the fight against Galamsey. Not even one. Not even one. And this is at a time when Galamsey is also escalating. Paul, what we saw with our eyes, ask your reporters. We went with them. What we saw with our eyes when we went out there over the weekend, trust me, it's a big problem.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it now. Viewers, this is the video of what Miracles brought to us from the river bodies. Sound.
Nkwale di agro mu di agro nsuo yi mu na mamefo edi omo ka che ne se nka ha na nka kwesi ada se no ebi mu kwa benu aduane wa ha de kofie omo be senior ma wa ha omo senso na kofie senso na kofie no. Look at this beautiful running water. Penny ba kwa na ye share no kwan so mu nyina mu huye o de video of nsuo no se na na sitie July year yi o e de che yen na the compensation nsuo ya na aye ne ya na ano edrin. The Esre Government Communications Minister aha the region say ne manfo ewu ne manfo enya nsuo ennom. What's your evidence no yankofa obebia ye fa wono ani krom ono ani nkrofo ne abefa evidence na iden amano onhwe evidence here de amani na enumanim ya oma omanpanini NDC aban ensanka no mo nsore prekope amanfo mo mankro kwanyako asafo entumi ntwen se yene Galamsey fo wo Eastern region anko wiansa o manya nsu anom ti de esense nke betumi a enumanim ya o ma boreholes bi mra ha ne yensisi boreholes yetutu boreholes ma community no no mutumi nya nsu no boso me ba akọ ne afanie kwanyako Ghana water entumi processing nsu esa de se na nsu na ye no ntomanfo nya nsu no yesre yaba ya bete ma me ba akọ se aha no NDC mpanifo bebre free ha honorable Awemo Professor Awemo ne ade nyina afiri ha ya besere omo ye party ne mu mpanimfo omo fa no omano ntum na aban no meye boreholes ma omo manfo no me den omo nom na afi yentu Galamsey fo yi so sayiye afi ya de evidence na ba no enhye aban kutupa ne ma no nkranhye na ontu omo so sa eyiye esensania omo ye ne sisia honorable Felix Kwachofosu wo say open evidence no ye de amount yankofa obebi anso wa wukrom na ebefa friye to ho na moman na yentuminya nsufan ye den ono.
Okay, there's some more videos to see. This was just alerting Felix Kwachofosu that there is evidence, but let's look at this video as well.
You ask for the evidence. This is your evidence. We're currently at the water treatment area. As you can see behind us, the Ayesu River is what we see behind us, and you can not see how bad the situation is. We've already been to other locations together. We saw the Macron situation. We've seen the Enuma Pepe situation. Yesterday, we also saw the situation at the Upper Dentra East area and how mining is happening blatantly right on the highways and how it's destroying our water bodies. We are having this conversation this morning simply because of, for us, the body language and the posture that the government has taken. We believe that it is a posture that doesn't inspire hope and doesn't encourage us and give us the assurance that the government is holding and ready to deal with this Galamsey menace. As you can see, and I'm sure you've already gathered from the community, more than half or about half of the central region currently do not have potable drinking water because the Kwenyako water treatment plant has been shut down. The community members tell us that this is something they haven't experienced before. That they have never seen this Ayesu River here looking this way. Very, very bad. It's never been like this until about 2.5 months ago. The very painful aspect of it is that the community members, or even in this district, Agona East District, Agona West, Gomoa Central, and all of its adjoining districts, none of them have mining going on in their areas. And so you have a community that have nothing to do with mining. They don't know what gold is in terms of seeing raw gold. They have never been engaged in mining before. Right ahead of us here is somebody's farm, which we have to walk through and come here. And they have to suffer the consequences. So this community is struggling. About half of Central Region do not have potable water because there is active Galamsey going on in the Eastern Region, somewhere in the Yeswano area, to be precise, where we are just coming from. And the repercussion or its negative effect is being felt by hundreds of thousands of people in close to about 11 other districts in the Central Region. Think about it. The mining is happening in the Eastern Region, and you have over 11 districts suffering the consequences when they have nothing to do with mining. Now, the government communications minister, Honorable Kwachi Ofosu, tells us that we can only tell him that Galamsey is worsened if we show him proof. This morning, our friends from the media, the mission here is to present the proof to Honorable Kwachi Ofosu so he can pass it on to the president and the government and let the NDC government understand that there is enough proof that Galamsey is worsened. And today, many more districts who hitherto 9 months ago were living their peaceful life and going about their lives without any stress cannot get water to drink because of the escalated nature of Galamsey across the country. We are worried because the NDC government has a record and history of always muddying our water bodies whenever they are in power. And we are not the ones saying it. The data proves it. Indeed, if you go to the Water Resources Commission website, there is enough evidence that shows that before 2010, when Galamsey escalated in the manner we are seeing today in this country, we had 40 water sites. That were being tracked by the Water Resources Commission. As of 2010, when this Galamsey we are seeing popped its head, 40 of these sites were fairly good water. Now, with the Water Resources Commission Water Quality Index, what they do is that they use the turbidity level of the water, including, in addition to the nutrients, and 2 other indicators to come up with the water quality. And that is why I make the point that only the turbidity level cannot be used as a measure for the quality of our water. And for all of us to be on the same page, the Water Resources Commission has been tracking our water quality since 2005, and the data is available for all of us. Today, as of December 2024, the Water Resources Commission Water Quality Index clearly indicates that by 2010, 40 of our water sites were fairly good. When the NDC government was in power between 2010 and 2016, this is what happened. By 2016, the 40 quality water, fairly good water that we had reduced to 15. And 25 of this fairly quality water have now become poor quality water. Let me repeat it. Between 2010 and 2016, the NDC government, which President Mahama was then a vice president and a president at some point, had moved our fairly good water from 40 to 25 poor quality water, and only 15 of these water were fairly good water. It tells you that we have every reason to be worried. We have every reason to be concerned if we are not getting enough assurance from the president looking at his track record. Because between the period of 2010 and 2016, when he was vice president and president, our water bodies deteriorated to a very poor state. Now guess what? When the MPP government took office, between 2017 and 2024, the 25 poor quality water that we inherited were reduced from 25 to 10. And so by the time Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was leaving office in December 2024, the 15 fairly good water that the NDC government left had increased from 15 to 29 good water. It means that in the 8-year period, the MPP government managed to improve our water quality by reducing the 25 poor quality water to only 10 and increasing the fairly good water from 15 to 29. Indeed, we had even good quality water by the time we were leaving office in 2024. Galamsey is not politics. And that is why all our time in government, I insisted that the NDC were charting a very bad course if they continue to make Galamsey political. I am of the view that the NDC's posture and conduct in opposition and how they publicly went into the Galamsey areas and encouraged and enabled the Galamseyers is one of the reasons why the MPP government struggled to fight and win the Galamsey fight. Because for 2 years, between 2017 and 2019, when the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP government placed a ban on Galamsey, we saw evidence that the water bodies that were looking muddier than this would be clean. We are appealing to the president and the NDC government. Our lives are at stake. The future of this country is at stake. People cannot find potable quality water to drink. The Central Region example is only one example. The reasons and the excuse he gave us through the media engagement is not one that engender hope. It is one that points to he enabling Galamseyers and simply telling the Galamseyers that if they manage to get the gold, whether through foul or fair means, he is ready to buy them. Again, he confirmed through his press engagement that indeed he could be buying gold from Galamseyers to as much as $4 billion out of the $6 billion he has exported. That for us, we believe, is a cause for concern. Because if the president is giving us an indication that he could be buying illegal gold from criminals and exporting, and that is what he is anchoring his government's transformation plan on, then we cannot trust and believe that he is going to put measures in place to end Galamsey. Because should he succeed at ending Galamsey, what he is telling us is that he may be running short of $4 billion out of $6 billion possible export. We are begging, pleading, and appealing to the president and the NDC government that we beg him, he should prioritize our lives and the environment over money. And that we are not interested in how much money he is getting from these criminals. He should stop buying the gold from the criminals and get them off our river bodies so we can have water to drink, so we can have quality, proper health care. The turbidity levels data we have seen clearly indicates that much more of our water bodies' turbidity level have deteriorated and worsened. And this is not we saying it. This is the Water Resources Commission saying it. Indeed, if you want to move away from the data to how these things can be proven with their impact, that is where we are standing now. The fact that the Kwenyako water treatment plant for the first time have had a cause to shut down the water plant.
This was not the case barely 3 months ago. And we've shared with you visuals from the quality of the water some 3 months ago. And if you look at it and you compare to the current situation, I doubt if you need any more evidence than we are seeing now. Sad situation.
The fact that the people of Kwenyako, Agoda East, Agoda West, Gomwa Central, and close to 11 districts do not have water to drink and do not have water to even wash their things is evidence enough to show that the situation has worsened. And we are sure that now that we have presented this to the government, they will take some decisive action and not continue to repeat the same old strategies they spoke against and present them to us as evidence of what they are doing. What we are saying is that the NDC government should show us new alternative ways of fighting galamsey and not repeat the things that were done in the past, for which reason they said they could do better and came to office. They gave 6 clear promises to the people of this country when it comes to the fight against galamsey, one of which they've already exhausted the timeline. They said in their social contract with us that in the first 120 days, they will place a ban on all forms of small-scale mining. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the easiest thing any government can do. Like Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo did in April 2017, 3 months in his office, 8 months is too long a time for our government to be showing and dragging their feet in the fight against galamsey.
So if you take a look at the Prez River and you see how polluted this river is, that is almost stagnant now, much more dirtier than Milo without milk. I don't think we need any more evidence to show our government. Strangely, this morning when we came here, 22nd September 2025, at exactly 11:30 a.m. when we flew the drone, as you can see, these are people on the Prez River mining in the Achamfan, and that is what is there, real time, happening now. And so if the government say they want evidence to see how bad the situation is, well, we have traveled all this way to get them the evidence from River Prez. So this is the Ofin River, the famous, legendary Ofin River. And if you see how stagnant the Ofin River is right now, and you see how muddy the Ofin River is a sad situation. And yet, the government says it wants evidence. And so we had no choice than to come here and give the government the evidence they require. Today is Monday, 22nd September 2025. Here we are on the Ofin River, and you can see the little children who are mining right inside the Ofin River. And there's a likelihood, a very high chance, that the Republic of Ghana is buying gold from these little children. That is a call for concern. When we got here, one of the strangest things we noticed is that right beside where this galamsey is going on is a police barrier. The police barrier is just across the street. You can see the police barrier from where we are standing and where this mining is ongoing. And yet, government says it needs evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in very, very deep trouble. Little children on the Ofin River mining in broad daylight, right beside the highway, police barrier right here, and yet our government says it needs evidence. You can see, apart from the chamfans, you can see the excavators. The excavators actively mining today, 22nd September 2025, right beside the road on the highways from Chichere towards Dunkornofin, towards Ekropon. You can see Galamsey happening actively on the Ofin River, and our government says it needs evidence. The excavators are right there, as you can all see, right before our eyes, and you can see the dead Ofin River. Felix Kwache Ofosu, Honorable Minister, you ask for evidence. This is the evidence right in your eyes, and this is your countrymen actively mining this afternoon, destroying the Ofin River, destroying our future, destroying our lives.
The illegal mine could be out. The down one now from the banching in a way. Banching in a way. This are banching away. The in the point as you class as no banching so Obama Okuma. Now, which banching when you put the same case banching. No, I have you. Susan of a boy, now, but more was no may. In here, draw a banner attention as I got there. No 1 week, and I'm one of the two. Or they are stop illegal mining. You're winning 120 days. Once we place ban on illegal mining. But hey, I had to figure out what come here. It's actually legal mining. It is still ongoing.
Yes, she has said, no, you're saying it. So, come, cry. But I'm saying she started to say a change color. See, Tracy and you who said, one to Galamsey war, Eastern region, oh baby. Now, affect. But okay, young lady, I have this year, children. Baby, and you to Galamsey.
I used to say, I net. The ever song say, I will share one way and yeah, see, I see you 2 penny, 2 penny. A darling boy head by any force night, each other.
One woman on way, son and Biaron, so mediocre. And son and mediocre. To be a son and a say, Abraham. They'll send me understand. The Swabber and say, so now, on Shemayan. On you pay now, obey your pine, obey any say. I didn't understand, so Abraham, it's an American understand.
The whole central, one on Shansi, and empty from one papa Yankee, well, it's nay. The President of mine on Papa Yankee, oh, yes, nay. Secretary Jane, you be a liar, but was here and so here. You could go down on both sides. Everything we have. And look.
Yeah, you need to Galamsey, I have also. Now, I use river, a far the source, edifice, still waiting. Into no house at Konyako, Aguna is the Ancasadi, and yet Galamsey course so a bear affect I used to make he still raging. Now, yen and I did to say, by a maybe 2-3 months, and I is when it down. So you do to me the out to me. Just as it is, Nema Abrabono cost so fine. But see, I bear 2 to 3 months, and I'm Galamsey on your Eastern region. Babisi, and nay, and I'm in Suinia say, I hear Mancron or friend Mancron, then she had the heat. Nay, crazy, fair, Nimune, yes, I am Yedigalie, Bia, but in the America saying, Bianua, or say, should you send and she I poto, I say. So, she did a bit to 2 borehole. Never so 100 wells. What's that? Near will slow it to our dish that, so it broke on you.
and the students says we have secondary school for in and I will yeah business or one person.
Government Communications Minister.
Honorable Kwache Ofosu, what's say open evidence? Pransuo no ene da hɔ no. Nsuo no ana akagina fa kwa enko no. Pransuo ena yese milo a milk nim no. Pransuo ena chamfan esi so ene 22nd September 2025 11:30 AM. A nkrofo guso a omo ye adwuma no. Evidence na open no. Enu nie. Honorable Kwachi Ofosu, what's the evidence? Offense wono ene yaba ho ewa Upper Dencha East heyi. Offense wo ena akagina fa kwa ensuo nani aye potopoto no. Honorable Kwachi Ofosu, enkola ene gina offense wo ho a omu tu galamsey ese ensuo no. Infuo ena ese no. Empenifo tu galamsey. Enkola tu galamsey. Banchifuo ena galamsey ensuo eguso sa no. Honorable
should also put on record as we've gone through all this pain not because Ghanaians are not already aware of the galamsey menace, but it was because the government actually challenged the citizens to provide proof to a worsened situation. It meant that
Felix said that.
Yes,
that
it meant that the government didn't want to accept the reality, and that was a concern because the agency with which they would deal with the matter depends on how much premium they place on it. Because I mean, Carly Bishop came out to speak. TUC actually told the president to his face on May Day that they are telling him that galamsey has escalated. But if the government said they didn't believe it, then we had no choice than to provide this evidence. And what we saw with our eyes, it's not as if they are mining in some forest, like they keep saying forest reserve. The Ofin and Proud one is not in any forest reserve. It is right on the river body, on the roadside.
And these are sources for water for Ghana Water Company.
Yes. So when I hear even people make it look like it is a forest reserve matter alone, it's as if it's deliberate to take our minds off what the realities are. This is by the roadside point. We didn't have to walk anywhere. We just parked, and this is Galamsey. If you are driving on the bridge on the Prez River, you see the Galamsey. On the Dunkwa.
Which region is this?
Central region.
Wow.
Chufi Praso and Dunkwa Onofin. So if you're on the Ofin Bridge, you see Galamsey. In fact, when we got to the Ofin River, there was a police checkpoint right there.
Yeah, you said it in the video.
The whole neighborhood is full of noise from the machines and the motors. So I don't understand what's going on, honestly speaking. My issue is, one, the first two reasons why Nanado and the MPP lost the elections would include Galamsey. Two reasons. It would include Galamsey.
Especially the voting in those areas.
Paul, 2 weeks to elections, Ransford Jampo, Professor and co were agitating for organized labor to go on an indefinite strike because of Galamsey. For the first time in the history of this country, we had protesters protesting on the street of Accra for 1 week continuous because of Galamsey. So if you win an election on the back of this, and 9 months into your governance, we don't see any blueprint towards the fight, we have a cause to be worried. And we are not asking you, let's also put it on record. The president and the government should stop talking about we only 9 months. Nobody is asking the NDC government to clean the Ofin River in 9 months. We are saying that we want to see what the plans are. So far, what we see is that you are buying the gold from them.
So you are enabling them.
You are enabling them. Because basically, if you are buying the gold from them, then we are suspicious that may be the reason why you are dragging your feet and you are being lackadaisical.
During the MPP time, who was buying the gold from the Galamseyers?
We don't know because it's crime.
So government was not buying?
No. Because it was crime. You see, if you say that, like the president said, if you say that, well, it is our money and it is our environment they are destroying, so whether it is legal or illegal, we'll take it because it would have gone into private hands in the previous state. What you are saying is that your son is an armed robber. So long as he's able to go and steal and rob and is not caught, and he brings the money home, you spend. A country cannot be seen to be exporting proceeds of crime. This is blood money.
And benefiting from it.
This is blood money. You understand? And so we just want the government to take action. We are not saying you can clean. No. We know that even when you are fighting it, the Galamsey situation will still fight you because there will still be people in the forest doing it. But show us working. Something different. Don't come and do the same thing you came to meet and say we should applaud you. Like they started doing last week when we started talking about this. Now all of a sudden, all of them were showing us videos of chamfans and excavators being bent. Paul, we are importing now 200 excavators per day into the country. Into this country. 200 excavators per day into this country. Which contractors are using 200 excavators every day? So clearly, you are aware that these excavators are going into our river bodies. So what are they talking about? The pretense for me is the worry. This thing is happening right by the roadside. Why are you acting like it's not there? And it's escalated because the Ayesu River we went to in Kwenyako was not like that 3 months ago. In fact, Metro actually showed the Ankobra River on 26 December 2024. I don't know if Apreku has that video, and he can show you. And if you look at how that river was on 26 December 2024 and how it is today, you don't need any evidence to show you that Galamsey has escalated. And those are the realities. Those are the things we are talking about. And for me, my concern is that you preached specific promises when you were in opposition. Just do it. You do it and fail. Then at least you can tell us that, well, I thought this would work. I have done it, but it's still not working. But you are sitting down. You are even challenging the citizens and asking us to provide you with proof without even taking any action on the simple things you promised. That is a worry. Then when you say, they will say, but the MPP was like that. Why do you think we lost the elections? One of the two reasons why we lost the 2024 elections was because of Galamsey. We cannot lose the elections and then you come and do it anyhow you want. Then they will tell you that, those who kept quiet during the Akufo-Addo era cannot be seen to be speaking now. Paul, those who spoke during the Akufo-Addo era and are quiet now are no different.
They have more to answer.
They are no different from those who kept quiet in the Akufo-Addo era and are speaking now. You were speaking in the past. Why are you quiet now? Now that it's worse. And then somebody was quiet in the past, but the person is speaking now. Why are you complaining? How different are you? You are no saint. You are no patriotic than that person.
Well, as for example, said the MPP has no basis to talk about Galamsey because they were doing it and he said something.
He's worse.
He responded.
For the man who was screaming on top of his lungs, calling his own colleagues disorganized and telling them that they had been manipulated by politicians to keep quiet, to be quiet now when the situation is worse, he is the man that should be home by now crying and explaining to his children why he's behaving that way. I told you that Ransford Jampo chased me midnight, late night, to get Dr. Mahmoud Bamia to sign a pact. Why is he quiet? Today, when you ask him about Galamsey, he'll be jumping around the bush.
No, it says MPP have no basis to talk about Galamsey.
But who has the basis?
Because MPP were prepared.
Who has the basis? He does.
Yeah, maybe he does, or
then,
some people.
You know what? If Ransford Jampo was speaking now, maybe those who didn't speak in the past will not speak, because after all, there will be a voice fighting for it. But you are quiet. That's why they are speaking. So if you don't want them to speak, then speak. I don't want to personalize.
How is he going to speak against the government that he's part of?
But that is the point. So you see, if you don't want those, if you're not happy about those who were quiet in the past and you don't want them to speak, then speak up. Why are you all quiet? Did you see the demonstration that was done yesterday? The government-funded demonstration.
Oh, the Oliver Mahama.
Yes.
How is the government funded?
He himself said that he did a post. I can send it to you now to put it up.
And he said what?
He did a post thanking the government for members of the government for their support and contribution towards the organization.
Well, it doesn't mean government. It just means some people.
But what does that mean?
That doesn't mean the central government paid him. It means some minister who likes what he's doing.
But what does that mean? A minister of state.
Yeah, or some appointee who likes
so
what
it's
he's
the government sponsored.
Oh no, that's different.
Why is it different?
Government sponsors, official government sponsors.
But who am I?
But individuals among the government is different.
But if somebody in government does something, you can say members of the government are doing something.
Well, if an individual does, you can say that's individual.
Let me fix it. Members of government sponsored demonstration. Doesn't work.
Some members of government.
Some members
or
of
some
government.
NDC people.
Some members of government sponsoring demonstration. Doesn't work.
Yeah, that's better.
So you see, think about this. Yeah. Think about this. The members of government are sponsoring demonstration against themselves.
Well, because they agree with his position.
No, because they are preempting. What they are doing is that they are creating an impression. They are trying to create an impression that, oh, some people are doing it already, so nobody else should do it. And that is why when other voices speak up, these people will tell them to keep quiet. You didn't speak in the past. Listen, we are not kids in this country. We understand the scenario. We know the dynamics. And we are not going to allow anybody to gaslight us. I can decide to keep quiet today, tomorrow I'll speak. It's my right. You can't take it away from me. So don't come tell me that I didn't speak yesterday, so I cannot speak today. Why are you quiet? You spoke yesterday. Why are you quiet? I chose to keep quiet yesterday, but I've decided to speak up today. The situation is dire. Listen, in the past 1.5 months, half of Central Region have no water. They cook dirty water before they drink.
Are you serious about
that? Yes, but it's in the video. Call Ghana Water. The Kwenyako water plant that supplies almost
there
about
are many schools in Central Region.
It's shut down.
There are many schools there.
Kwenyako Secondary School children, they go to a small stream to go and fetch water, which is already polluted with chemicals from the Ghana Water plant. It's a very serious situation.
Central Region?
Yes, here, which is like 30 minutes away from Accra. You go through Boduasi, you are there. That is the situation. That is how dire the situation is. And then you have people saying, keep quiet, because yesterday you didn't speak. Yesterday you spoke, but today you're quiet. It's my turn to speak. Keep quiet, let me speak. The situation is bad.
I see.
The situation is so bad. Kwenyako Secondary School and all the secondary schools you know in the Central Region, Paul, they are fetching water from the ground. And even that one is dangerous water. When we went to Kwenyako and we went into the community, it was a sad situation. The old women, the children, they were all running to us, some crying. They said that they had a little stream that they fetch water from. But now when they go there, they have to wait for 3-4 hours before they can get half bucket. Because you know how these streams work. If there's so much pressure, it runs down. That is how bad the situation is. So we are not saying Galamsey wasn't there yesterday. Have you heard me say that? Galamsey has been there. The form of Galamsey we are seeing now has been there since 2010. I have admitted that. And I've admitted that when Akufo-Addo came, he did everything, but he couldn't succeed at it. I have admitted that. But the truth also is that this government made Galamsey their #1 campaign message and promised the country that they will fix it with a strategy. They gave 6-point specific strategies. They haven't implemented even one.